it's a look. I like it.
Woke up to niggas sounding like me talk. Woke up to niggas talking like me talk.
As you can see, what we're starting from a hot mess, okay? Let's start by combing this out. These are tape-ins, you guys. They're actually Kinky Street tape-ins. I got them from Amazon. If you are interested in these, I will put the link down below. I actually really do like them a lot. They're really, really pretty. A couple things that I've learned about tape-ins. If you have short hair, don't get them. I'm very hard-headed, so I'm gonna make it work no matter what. But these were kind of like difficult to put in. Like, anyway, that's besides the point. So I'm going to start by brushing this out. You guys, my seborrheic dermatitis is still going kind of crazy, as you can see. But we are working on it. We're working on it. I think I'm just going to flat iron my hair a little bit, just so it doesn't look like so crazy and all over the place. I'm going to be using my Babyliss Nano flat iron. I've had this flat iron for years, which is why it looks so raggedy. But it's so good, you guys. So many people use Babyliss. And I highly recommend it because they will last you forever. I'm gonna use a little bit of my Chit Silk Infusion Serum. I love this serum for like heat protection. Makes the hair like really shiny, really soft. You don't need a lot at all. Like you only need like a little tiny bit. Put this all over my hair. The extensions. And we're gonna get the flat ironing. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my Care wax stick. If you don't know about this, you need to know about this. It's super good. I'm not going to show y'all because it's like super hairy. But I love this for like flyaways and like just helping with my leave out because my leave out is short right now. That's a story for another day. Don't ask about my real hair. It's a mess. And then I just brush. And it blends right in. And it lays right down. Love a good wax stick. It is a little bit pricey. So I heard the ones on Amazon are better. I think there's one called like, I forgot what it's called. But I'm going to link the Care one down below for you guys. Because that one is like really good. It's definitely worth the money. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Got To Be spray. And here's a little tip that I like to do. I like to spray my brush. And then just brush the hairs in place. And it keeps everything down. When I feel like my hair is starting not to like blend anymore, I like mold it down with like mousse. And then just sleep and then unwrap it and it looks good. So that's basically my process for these tape-ins and how I keep them looking pretty decent. I mean, they're not the best, but I think they look pretty good. Now let's get into makeup. So I brought you guys in a little bit closer so you can see what the skin is skinning like. I'm gonna do like a really soft glam type of look because that's usually like my go-to. So to start off, let's start off with the brows. I've been loving this eyebrow pencil by Lawless. It's so good, you guys. It's like so I hate when brow pencils are too pigmented and them bitches be looking like Sharpie brows. But this one gives the right amount of pigment, but it still makes your eyebrow look really, really natural. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to go in with the shade Cacao. I'm just going to start with the front of the brow. Usually I don't start my tutorials off with the eyebrows, but it's been a minute. As you can see, I haven't posted in some time, and also I did delete a lot of my videos on my channel for a good reason. Just wasn't really feeling them anymore. I'm trying to rebrand, so I feel like I don't want a lot of my old videos to distract new people coming in. I want them to like my new fresh content. So yeah, that's why I did that. Outline the brow. You see how like it looks really crazy right now. You guys definitely have to trust the process. Trust me. But just look at that. It looks so natural, and it's just so easy to blend. I love it. If you can't afford this brow pencil, because I really don't know the price range of Lawless. I know they can be a little bit expensive. I really also like the Revlon eyebrow pencils, and I also like the ones by Mented. Those ones are really, really good as well. This one is just perfect though. Like, I've never tried an eyebrow pencil quite like this one. It's really good. Now I'm going to clean my eyebrows up with concealer. I'm going to use this flat brush. I love using a flat brush to like clean up the eyebrow, because trying to use anything other than this shape just makes my eyebrows look so bad. I've tried it, trust me. But I like to just go under the brow ever so lightly and literally just trace the eyebrow shape that I'm looking for. So then I like to go in and blend with my Sephora. This is a really old brush. This is the Airbrush Concealer Brush number 57. I can't do my eyebrows without this brush. I feel like there are certain brushes that you literally cannot have your makeup look good without. Like, I remember like going out for my birthday and I had to do my makeup in the car. And I had to take brushes with me that weren't like my normal brushes. And when I tell you my makeup turned out shitty, your girl was P-I-S-S-E-D. Why did I spell it out? It's giving loser. Now, I didn't really have to use this shade of concealer on the top. I could have went a little bit darker, but that was just me just reaching for any old concealer. I prefer to use a concealer that is closer to my skin tone on the top. I remember when I used to do the halo eyebrow. Oh my God, when I used to use light on the bottom and the top. Horrible. Trash. I'm just priming my eyelids with concealer. Nothing crazy. I don't really use eyeshadow primer like that. Just because, I don't know, I just don't feel the need to. I feel like concealer does the job. Depending on what kind of color I'm using, I'll use a lighter concealer or I'll go towards the range of my skin tone. Because I plan to use more neutral shades, I stuck with a concealer that's closer to my skin tone. That's definitely a tip, because if you use concealer closer to your skin tone, those bright shades are not going to pop as well as if you used a lighter eyeshadow base, if that makes sense. This concealer is from JCat Beauty. JCat Beauty is a Korean brand that is sold in the drugstore. They are bomb. Definitely like their complexion products. Super affordable as well. But we're going to use this eyeshadow palette from Sigma. This is their fiery eyeshadow palette. It has the prettiest neutrals. The camera isn't even giving the shimmers justice. Just look at that. Stunning. Come on, camera. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go into the shade Summer Song, and I'm just going to put that into my crease here. This is like an orange shade. I don't want it to pop off too loud, but I just want to make this my transition shade. I'm going for like a classic type of somewhat fall, but mostly like very soft, maybe a little shimmer. I think I might keep it matte. Just put that on the crease. And this is also a Sigma brush. This is a diffuser blend brush. I will have everything down below in the description box for you guys. I was watching B. Marie the other day. If you guys don't know who B. Marie is, please look her up. She's an amazing makeup artist, content creator. I was watching her before I even started my channel, and she was one of the first big YouTubers to like even collaborate with the kid. It was a really long time ago. I actually archived the video from my channel, but it was like a Valentine's Day collaboration. And it was just so nice of her. But I was watching her videos the other day, and I'm like, damn, the kid don't even play in eyeshadow anymore. Like, I rarely play in eyeshadow anymore, like with colors. So today, I'm gonna still stick with neutrals, but I really want like this orange to kind of pop and just be really soft and diffused. You know, slowly introduce myself back into color, you feel me? This is really pretty. Sigma shadows are bomb because they blend so well. I want like another orange shade, but like more of a burnt, darker orange shade. So I'm gonna go into my Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. This is collaboration with the Plastic Boy. Look at all these beautiful neutrals. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go into, I think I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Just like, I don't know, deepen it up and make it a little bit, just a little bit darker. So I'm gonna take that on my brush. I'm literally just going to go right back and forth into my crease. Now, because I want to keep the look matte, I don't want to add any shimmer. I'm going to go into this matte kind of like nude shade right here. And I'm going to tap that like all over my lid to like, what is this? That's my, I don't want to use that brush. I'm going to use this Sigma brush. I'm just going to go in here. It's like a peachy color almost, but it's like very light. Just going to tap that all over my lid. I call this a soft cut crease because I'm not really cutting the crease here, but I am like giving like a transition from my eyelid to the other eyeshadows that I used. So it kind of looks like a cut crease, but it's really not. But it just looks really soft and just really blurred out, and that's the look that I'm going for. I'm gonna put a darker shadow on the outer eyelid just so I can create some depth and dimension. Maybe make it a little bit smoky. I might use like a dark brown, but I'm not sure yet. I might use a dark orange. I'm gonna go back into the Plastic Boy collaboration with Makeup Revolution. And I think I'm gonna use this dark brown right here, either this one or both, honestly. And I'm just gonna put that on the outer edge. I think I'm gonna go with the lighter one. This is the shade Period with a T. Super cute. I'm just gonna smoke that out on the outer lid. Super pretty, very soft. I love it. I'm gonna line my eyes with the Haus Labs liquid eyeliner pen. This is actually discontinued since Haus Labs rebranded. They don't have this anymore, but when I tell you guys, this is one of the best eyeliners that I've ever used. It is so pigmented and just so black. I'm not really that big of a fan of the tip. Like, I don't like tips like this on my eyeliner just because my eyes are kind of like hooded and like really fat. So I prefer to use liners with like an angled liner or an angled tip. But I just really like the formula of this. It's really good. To prime, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I feel like a lot of people either really love or really hate this primer, and I'm one of those people that really love it. It's just so good for makeup application. It's so good to like adhere the makeup and make it grippy. It's very hydrating too. I don't get how people do not like this primer. I mean, if you have oily skin, I may get it. For dry skin, if you don't like this, like, I'm just like, why? Some people say it like peels up. I've never really had that issue. I feel like maybe that's if like you layer too many things with it or you use like a lot of oil with it, because this is like a water-based primer. The other Milk Makeup primer is really good too if you have oily skin, the Pore Eclipse. That one's really good too, but I just prefer the Hydro Grip. Just gonna let that sit in for a little bit. I'm gonna be using the Revlon Color Stay Foundation. This is the combination oily formula. I like this one a lot for my skin texture. Even though I have dry skin, this one looks really, really good on the skin. It is so pretty. This is one of those drugstore foundations that you will think are long, like that are high end, that like came from Sephora when you put it on, because it's just so pretty on the skin. It is full coverage. It's like a medium to full coverage, depending on how you layer it. If you put it on with a sponge, I'm pretty sure you can get less coverage. But because my skin is acting out right now and the look that I'm going for like a more full coverage type of look. So that's what we're doing. I'm using a kabuki brush. Just look at that. That's stunning. I do have a review up on this foundation if y'all are interested. I'll link it in the cards above for you guys. Look at that. Stunning. For concealer, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer. I really like this concealer a lot. It is a good medium to full coverage, but it's not like super drying. I don't think I meant to use this shade. Maybe I can do like a bright under eye type of situation. I'm gonna mix concealers because I actually didn't mean to use this shade. This is a little bit light for me. Yeah, let's mix it with this one because that's a little light for me. There we go. And I'm just gonna blend this with my Real Technique brush. I love this brush so much. I like blending my concealer out with a brush versus a sponge. I feel like it doesn't pick up as much product and it allows me to control it better. And it just gives like a flawless look. Now, I love this brush by Real Techniques. I've been holding this brush down for a minute. This is the setting powder brush, but I use it for my concealer. I forgot what creator I saw using this brush. I wanna say it was Kiki Adams. She uses this brush for her concealer as well on her clients, and I tried it one time and I was obsessed. It's just so good for controlling the concealer under the eye, and it blends it out so flawlessly. I'll never go back to a sponge concealer again. Well, I use it from time to time, but I mainly use this brush. For the edges, I'm just gonna like tap the edges so they don't look so harsh and they blend into my makeup. Like so. For cream bronzer, we're going to use this one by Beauty Blender. This is their Cream Bounce Bronzer. It's like a cream to powder type of formula. I really like this shade a lot. It's so pretty. If you have like a golden undertone like me, or you feel like we are very close in complexion, you will love this bronzer. It's so good. Definitely not enough hype for me. It's probably because they don't have a good shade range. I haven't looked at the complete shade range for this bronzer, but the formula is so good and it just warms up the skin in such a beautiful way. And then I'd like to take a little bit under my jaw, since your girl has a double chin now. I'm gonna go in with this cream blush from Milani. This is in the shade Merlot Moment. I really like it because it's like a cranberry kind of shade. And it kind of won't take away from the eye makeup that we have going on. I tend to notice if I use like a pink blush with the wrong eyeshadow look, it'll look really bad. So I've been really conscious on which shades that I use on my cheeks. So I'm just gonna go into a little bit of this and just put a little bit on my cheek. Super pigmented. We love a pigmented cream blush that shows up on dark skin, okay? I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set all my highlighted areas with the One Size setting powder. I love this powder, okay? I used to be obsessed with the Patrick Star MAC powder, and this is literally the same formula, bigger size. And I will continue to repurchase. This is in the shade Universal Translucent. Ooh, that's too much powder. I use my powder puff. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen like all the rave on like using a powder puff for your makeup. Trust me, I wasn't really there for it for a while, but when I tell you, it makes your makeup look so good when you use a powder puff. And then go in with a brush. Now to set the whole face, I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. This is a really good powder. I feel like it's a great dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder. So I'm just gonna go in and set my whole face, even the areas that I went over with the Patrick Star powder. That's gonna help take away that bright, I don't know, that bright kind of like white look. Like we want a bright under eye, but we don't want it too bright, you know? This just helps tone everything down. Using this really pretty bronzer from Mented. It's like a reddish brown type of shade. You don't want anything too cool toned when you bronze because it's gonna look like you're contouring. Bronzing and contouring are two different things. I'm just gonna go in with this and just lightly warm up the face. I like to spray my face a couple times throughout application. So this is the first time I'm using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I'm just gonna spray a light layer to melt all those powders that we used. I'm gonna use a little bit of mascara just to get the lashes ready for the fake ones. My lashes are so small, but like I can kind of make them pop a little bit. But that's for a whole nother video. That's a whole nother tutorial. Like, I feel like I could do a whole tutorial on how to make your baby lashes pop. I think that's a good video. I think I'll add that to the list. Popped on some lashes. This is from Divine World of Lashes. These are in the shade Bora Bora. This is a really cute, flirty lash. Now I'm going to do my signature. You guys probably don't know about my signature because I haven't been posting up here. But I like to do a nude color in my waterline like all the time, or like a really colorful liner in my waterline. But today I'm going to use a nude one, and this is by Wet n Wild. The shade Rubbed Off. I really like this shade. It's like a really pretty peach. Now to set this blush, I'm going to use this really pretty blush from Laura Geller. It's in the shade Starfish Islands. It's supposed to be like a baked blush. I hope it doesn't mess up the look because I'm going to be pissed. I'm just going to take a little bit on my... Ooh, it's got a lot of kickback. I'm scared. Okay, that's really pretty. I like that. That's pretty. We're going to spray the face again. I know. I do this a lot. I'm going to use the Pretty Fresh again. Now that we're finally to the lip, I'm going to try something new. This is the Maybelline's Super Stay Vinyl Ink in the shade Fearless. I'm going to use this as a lip liner. It's a dark brown shade, so I'm hoping that it'll work as lip liner. Let's see. Is this brown? Or am I tripping? Is this brown? Oh, it looks like brown. And then I'm going to take the shade Monolith by ColourPop, and I'm going to put that in the middle. That's not brown. This is a pretty combo though. I think I'm going to take a little bit of brown and put it around the edges. And I'll put a little bit of clear gloss like right in the center. This is the final look. I'm obsessed. It looks like some really pretty soft 90s glam. And I'm here for it. Like for the dark lip liner and then just the really soft eye. I'm here for it. I feel like the blush could be a little bit more orange. I feel like it made it kind of pinky, but it's fine. I'm here for it. What do you guys think? Hold on, let me zoom in. What are we thinking? Do you like yay or nay? I'm here for it. Especially with like the layered hair, the layered kinky hair. It's a look. I like it.
Woke up to niggas talking like me. Talk. Woke up to niggas sounding like me. Talk. I woke up.